Hey, Composing Gloves here. This is the 15th video in the Massive from the Ground Up tutorial series, and today we're going to be looking at the last mode in the LFO oscillator tab. We're going to be looking at the stepper option, okay? So, again, another secret option hidden deep within the wells of Massive. If you haven't watched the previous videos that talk about the LFO Performer tab, go look at those because I mentioned some things that are just weird that I have no idea why Massive does some of it. But it's only like for a few seconds. So I guess you could get away without watching them. But it's whatever, okay? So you set out your new sound, you have a sine wave, a square wave, a saw wave, and you feel pretty good about yourself. You say, you know what, I want to put a stepper on that. So you come over to your LFO tabs down here and you click on your mode option here and you go to stepper and poof, you suddenly have the secret option of stepper. And because you watched my previous tutorials, you already know what this does and that as well. You don't know what that is yet, but you can figure it out sort of. And you don't know what that is yet either. So to start off, you have your randomize button that randomizes your stepper pitches, but then you also have a randomized level. So this randomizes the levels. You can randomize the glide, which is these guys down here, and we're about to talk about that. It's very similar to the LFO. You can randomize everything, which randomizes both the glide and the levels. Then you have your snap to grid, which if you turn this on, so if you turn it not on, it's very fine. You can get all sorts of in-between values. If you turn it on, it snaps to discrete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because there's 12 tones in an octave. Then you have your mono, which does the same thing as we've talked about in others, and in this case could be extraordinarily important unless you're doing some sort of chord thing where it might actually create some extraordinarily cool effects. And we've already talked about the mode. We've talked about these. Again, the mysterious POS. Who knows what that thing does? Okay, now we're going to just talk about the only thing really left to cover is how these things are related. The amp module works the exact same way as the LFO. So if you want to know how that works, go watch the one on the, no, it works the exact same way as the Performer. So go watch the previous video on the Performer tab if you do not know how these work in conjunction with this. And then the glide works the exact same way as in the Performer, the X-Fade does. And so what the glide does is it glides the signal, because remember using this as a controlling signal. It's usually used for pitch, for creating some sort of arpeggiation or something. But you could use this on like something like intensity or amp or wavetable or filter or something, and it would do all sorts of weird, cool things because it has this like weird glide option. So what happens is let's attach our stepper to our pitch like so. Hold down Alt. So now it will affect it to negative 24 decibels, or to negative 24, so 2 octaves down. I don't even know where decibels came from. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so now we're going to talk about how these lighted up little boxes down here are and work in conjunction with these two sliders. So let's say you've got some crazy thing going on and you want the glide to be affected. So we're going to just turn this bottom row off. And so this is just a wet dry, no glide, some glide. And it's used generally for pitch. So we're going to drag our 5, put it up here, which I've already done, and take it down to 24, negative 24, which is down 2 octaves. So this will affect our pitch by 2 octaves. It'll move around in that range, but again, it only has values from 1 to 12, so it'll only work from 1 to 12. And as you can see, it's starting to affect our pitch. And if we don't have anything, it'll just snap between the values. But with the pitch on, with it being sensitive to this glide knob right here, it goes in between the pitches. And you do not need to use this on pitch. You could use this on wavetable positions or amps, or you could do all sorts of weird junk with this that I think is just underused. Everyone just associates it with pitch, which you know is fine. That's generally what it's used for making arpeggiations and stuff. And that's what that does. And now this bottom row is again the exact same thing as in the Performer tab. If you do not understand the whole boxing and why it works, go watch the Performer tab again. So this is affected. So when this is up, when it's down, so these are sensitive to the knob now. When the lights are on, when you turn it up, it's allowing the amplification to go through. When you turn it down, not so. And if you have the glide mode on, like if it's sensitive to glide, you will hear the glide if you turn it on to sensitivity, even though the amp is down. And that's really important to know about. And then again, you have the amp thing, and that's what the, what is this? The stepper tab is all about. That's what it does. That's pretty much everything you can use it for. Go and begin to modulate with LFOs, performers, steppers, and envelopes, and just go bananas. Again, if you don't know the secret of the internal envelope, it is revealed in the performer video. So if you enjoy these videos, subscribe and check out my music on composingloves.com, or there's some of it on this channel. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's pretty much everywhere. And have a blessed day.